Hey, I'm really sorry for my absence for most of the month of July in terms of solo videos. I do hope you enjoyed my videos with my boyfriend Zach. Thank you, Zach, for being in them. And so I'm here with another check off the receipt video. I was fortunate enough to have my best friend finally come back to me from MIT, and we decided to go shopping. I had saved up some products I knew I wanted to purchase for when she arrived, and I'm happy to be able to share them with you. So in the true tradition of a check off the receipt video, I'm going to tell you how much each item was and kind of justify why I purchased it and just kind of explain my thought process of why I picked certain items out. So I'm first going to start off with some items that I got from Zara. So the first couple of items that I purchased were from Zara, and they're both clothing items. And the first one that I got is this t-shirt, and it's a really nice white tee with some obviously writing on it. It says metallics, and in the really fine print, if you can see, it's got some code. And I've been learning to code this summer, so I thought that was fitting. And it's also got some nice detailing where it's got the facets from diamonds or other clear gems. And on the back, which I think is the most flattering and one of the reasons why I purchased it, it's got this really nice deep V, and it has this strap on the top which allows the shirt to stay in place and not fall backwards and choke you in the front. So I paid $29.99 for this item, and it wasn't on sale, but I'll explain why I purchased this. I purchased this mainly to replace two other t-shirts that I own. Those two t-shirts happen to be from Calvin Klein, and they're both black, and they both happen to have a really, really low boat neckline. They're different in that one of them has kind of a leather front pattern, and the other one has some shimmer in it. And unfortunately, because they're black, it absorbed the heat in the sun. I live in California, so it's sunny most of the time, and so I felt like I was in an oven. And at the same time, with this really, really low neckline, whenever I bent over, I had to be really careful, otherwise I would reveal certain things, and otherwise I would have to wear a camisole underneath it. And when you're wearing a t-shirt, especially when it's really hot outside, you really don't want to have to worry about undergarments because you just want it to be nice and loose and breezy. So I purchased this because it's white, so it's gonna reflect the sunlight, and I don't have to worry about it being too revealing in the front, but at the same time I'm revealing some skin in the back, which I think is really flattering. So I ended up purchasing that. The second item that I got from Zara is a black skirt. Now I do have another short black skirt, except it's mostly lacy, and what it is it's a white skirt in which it has overlay of black lace. So it creates a really nice effect, but it's mostly white. So I technically didn't really have a full solid black skirt. In addition, I didn't own any tight skirts that were on the shorter end. This is not really short. This goes like right above my knee. But it looks like this, and I thought it was a nice change to a classic black skirt because it's got this really cute peekaboo detail of the pleating of these really vivid colors. I don't own anything that's pleated either, so I thought this is a nice way to start getting into that trend. And as well, it's also made out of a pretty thick material, so it's going to be perfect for when it gets colder in New York. I can still wear this. And I paid $19.99 for it, which was the sale price. So those were two of the clothing items that I purchased on this trip. I ended up purchasing one more item, but I'll talk about that at the end because that's the one that I paid the most money for out of this entire shopping spree. And so I'd like to talk about some face products, things that I got from Sephora and MAC. So, as you guys probably saw in my Get Ready With Me video, I have been using this Embryolisse Le Crème Concentré for my face, and as you can tell, I'm almost out of it. And I used this throughout my first year in college. It was a really, really nice moisturizer, but it was giving me an oily residue on top of my face, and therefore my face looked a bit shiny, and it just wasn't the most flattering. So I managed to try out a free sample that I got from Sephora for one of the First Aid Beauty products, and I ended up liking it so much that I had to buy the full version. And so it's the Ultra Repair Face Moisturizer, and it looks like this. And I really like it because it's a pump tip. Unfortunately, the Ombre Elise is kind of a squeeze-out tube, and it's interesting because the tube itself is made out of metal, and for when it starts to bend, it kind of creates tears in the metal, and it can scratch you, and I've scratched myself on this packaging. But anyway, I really like this moisturizer. It gives me the same moisture as the Ombre Elise, but leaves me with a matte finish, and so I thought, I must get this when I go to Sephora, and I paid $24 for it. It might seem a bit much for a moisturizer, but I do take care in what I place on my face. Now on to MAC. I went in with a plan. I knew kind of what I wanted to get, and so this is the first purchase that I made at MAC, and it consisted of 3 things. A lipstick, a lip liner, and a contour, or as Matt calls it, a sculpting palette, or sculpting powder. So I own this, which is a Marc Jacobs lipstick, and this is in the color Role Play, or 110, and it's kind of a dusty rose. And the packaging is really nice. You can tell that it's a pretty thick plastic, and it's got a really nice magnetic closure onto it. Unfortunately, besides the really nice packaging, I mean, the lipstick's great and all, but I paid $30 for it, which is a bit ridiculous. And so I went into MAC thinking, I know your lipsticks cost $15, and I've heard really great raves about the quality of MAC lipsticks. So I thought, might as well get it. As you can tell, packaging is clearly different. And what did I get to replace my Marc Jacobs lipstick? I ended up getting Velvet Teddy, which is a matte lipstick from MAC. They're slightly different in tone. One of them, I believe, is more coral than the other one is more pink. Let's see if I can show you the difference. But in terms of quality, both of them are really great. And once I applied Velvet Teddy on top of MAC's Spice, it was just the perfect combination. I could not get over it. And I also purchased this lip liner because I don't own any other lip liners, but also I think it'd be a really great base for any of my other nude lipsticks, or sort of rosy, dusty rose, pink, light pink, nudie pink lipsticks that I own. And even maybe under some of my more vibrant lipstick shades, it's just going to be a perfect foundation for them to help them stay longer on my lips. So the lipstick, again, as I mentioned, is $15, and the lip liner is $16. As I mentioned, I bought a sculpting powder from MAC, and I was talking to the lady, and she claimed that MAC is the only cosmetic company that claims to produce a product that is specifically for contour, as in they call it a contour powder. Technically it's called a sculpting powder. But usually other companies label their contour powders under bronzers and stuff. But I just wanted a plain brown powder that wasn't going to make me look more tan in any way. I just wanted it to create the illusion of shadows on my face, so it would slim my face down. If you go to MAC and you ask for this, they're going to show you what they call, it's part of their Pro line, it's going to be a sculpting palette. So it's going to contain 3 contours and 3 highlighters. And that was a bit much for me. Unfortunately, the only other way you can get any of those powders is individually in the tins. So this is the packaging that it came in, and you would have to put it into your own palette or your own magnetic palette. And I happen to have a Z palette that I purchased over my freshman year in college, and so I just placed it in there. And so this is what it looks like. And what is the name of this? It is Shade Stir, and it's just a brown. There's really no other way for me to just explain it. It's just a nice brown powder. It was $17, which I thought was a pretty decent price for quite a amount of powder. So that's my little ramble on what I purchased from MAC. I was also generously given a sample of their exfoliant. I don't know much about this. It just Looks like a black glob. Just kind of cool. I'm assuming there's charcoal in it, but I get to try this out. So thank you to the kind lady that was helping my friend and I with this really great MAC experience. My last purchase, I ended up spending quite a bit of money on it, but it's one of those staple items that you know is going to last you forever, and the uses that you would wear this item to are quite critical to someone, specifically job interviews, interviews for internships, performances, that type of thing. So I purchased a pair of black dress pants from Bloomingdales. They're Hugo Boss, and I paid $250 for it, but they're the item, as I said, that you'll be wearing to impress someone, and I think it's important to feel really confident in what you're wearing, because then that's just going to show when you're answering questions from somebody. Also, I perform in a lot of pit orchestras and individual performances, and I prefer to wear pants to dresses, and oftentimes for pit orchestras they require you to wear black, so black dress pants are necessary. And so these are to replace a couple of older pairs that I have. I had two. They were both from China, and the material just wasn't great. Some of the threads had snagged, and I'd worn them for a really, really long time. So I felt it was time for me to invest in a really great pair of black dress pants. So I ended up purchasing those on this shopping trip as well. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be doing more videos frequently. I hope you enjoy the quality of this. I'm shooting on my Canon PowerShoot SD1300IS, and hopefully it's better than my camcorder. I'm hoping everything focused on the screen because I can't actually see. There isn't a flip-up screen that I can see myself in and gauge whether I'm in shot. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about college and stuff, I plan on shooting some videos answering those questions. And anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. I got a new mug. It's got a pig on it, and I thought I'd say goodbye. Bye. Yeah, Piggy and I say bye. Have a nice day, guys.